Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to build the ultimate plan for defined abs, and we're going to do it from the ground up, just like a professional trainer would. We are going to cut right through all the noise and give you a clear, science-backed blueprint. So let's just jump right in with something I'm sure a lot of you have felt, right? You're putting in the work, maybe doing hundreds of crunches every single day, but when you look in the mirror, you're just not seeing that six-pack you're training for. It's probably one of the biggest myths in fitness, and today we're going to bust it wide open. And here's the truth. Getting a defined core isn't about finding one secret magic exercise. It's about following a complete system. And we're going to map that system out using what we're calling the definition pyramid. All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. This is our roadmap. We're going to start with the most essential foundation at the very bottom and then build our way up, layer by layer, right to the finishing touches at the peak. First things first, we have to lay the foundation. And this is the absolute non-negotiable truth about getting visible abs. And you might be surprised to hear it has almost nothing to do with exercise. So what's this number all about? Well, this right here is the first major hurdle for most people. See, experts and all the science agree. For men, your abs just won't show until your body fat is at or below about 12%. You can literally have the strongest abs in the world, but if they're covered by a layer of fat, nobody's ever going to see them. I want you to think of it like this. You're training in the gym, that's what carves this statue. But your diet, your nutrition, is what removes the giant block of stone that's covering it up. Seriously, no amount of exercise can ever outtrain a diet that isn't set up to reveal the muscle underneath. So, how do you lower your body fat? Well, you absolutely have to be in what's called a caloric deficit. And listen, this isn't a fad diet, it's not a trend, it's the fundamental scientific principle behind every single effective diet for fat loss. It just means you're burning more energy than you're taking in. That's it. And hey, don't worry, you can figure this out pretty systematically. First, you just hop online and use a calculator to find your basal metabolic rate, your BMR. Think of that as your baseline. Second, you factor in your daily activity level to get your total daily energy expenditure, or TDE. Then finally, you just subtract about 400 to 500 calories from that TDE number. That creates a sustainable deficit that'll help you lose fat without totally crashing your metabolism. All right, so once your nutrition is dialed in, we can move up the pyramid to training. But first, we need a huge paradigm shift in how we think about our core. This is where most people get it completely wrong. This quote right here from scientific literature, it's a total game changer. We're so used to thinking of our abs as crunching muscles, right? But their primary job, the reason we have them evolutionarily, is to act as a stable shield for our spine and our organs, to resist forces trying to move us. So you see the difference here, right? Instead of only thinking about exercises that bend and flex your torso, a professional training approach, this smart approach, focuses on exercises that train the core to resist forces from every direction. This is the real key to building true functional strength. So what does that actually look like? Well, these are the kinds of exercises that form the pillars of a truly strong core. A plank resists your back from arching down. A pal-off press resists your torso from twisting. And a one-handed farmer's walk forces you to resist bending to the side. Together, they build a 360-degree shield that protects your spine and makes all your other lifts way stronger. Okay, let's keep climbing. Your nutrition is on point, your core is a rock-solid shield. Now it's time to build the bricks. We're talking about making the ab muscles themselves thicker, deeper, and more prominent so they really pop. Look, the big takeaway here is that your abs aren't special. They're a muscle just like any other. And to make them grow, they need resistance. Doing endless bodyweight reps will only get you so far. If you want that 3D chiseled look, you have to challenge them with progressive overload. That just means adding more weight or resistance over time. So if you start working in exercises like these just once or twice a week, that's the key to stimulating real muscle growth, what we call hypertrophy. The rollout gives you this incredible stretch under tension. The pulley crunch lets you add weight just like any other machine exercise. And throwing a plate on your V-ups builds some serious explosive power. All right, now for the very top of our pyramid, the secret weapon. This is a special technique you see elite bodybuilders and physique athletes use all the time to get superior control over their midsection and create a smaller, more aesthetic-looking waist. Now, I know it feels a little strange at first, but just follow these steps carefully. The real key is to do it on an empty stomach, like first thing in the morning. After you push all the air out, you're not actually using your abs to suck in. What you're doing is expanding your rib cage, which creates a vacuum that pulls that deep transverse abdominis muscle inward. And why does this even matter? Well, this isn't about building huge, bulky muscles. Think of it more like an isometric technique that works like a natural corset. It strengthens your core from the inside out, it refines your shape, improves your posture, and helps create that sharp, chiseled separation between your muscles. Okay, we've built the entire pyramid piece by piece. So now, let's put it all together into a super simple but super effective weekly action plan. This is what it looks like in practice. Your nutrition, the base, that's a daily commitment. Your core stability drills, the pillars, you can toss those into your warm-ups most days. Then you just reserve 1 or 2 sessions a week for that heavy, weighted ab work, the bricks. And finally, you practice that vacuum a few mornings a week. See? It's a complete system that covers all the bases. So there you have it. The knowledge is officially yours. The path to a defined abdomen, it's not about magic bullets or doing endless crunches. It's about a smart, structured approach that respects the science of how your body actually works. The blueprint is right here. The only thing left is for you to start building.